Okie dokie. So what are we right now? Oh. I think day 2? We'll say day 3. So the kid's been here today, and he cut all the body mounts off. I'll probably grind them just to clean everything up, or at least most of it. I don't want to do the hard work. But he's cleaned those up. He's put a new clutch on. I think they did all the work on the pump and all that jazz. Had a buddy come down and gave him a hand. I think they cut the fuel plate, and I don't know really what else they did. A few things, I guess. Got rid of the fuel heater, a few things like that. And then yeah, so my plan tonight is going to be cutting these up flush, like grinding down these plates. We want to get this cross member loose, move these out so we can use it for this motor when we move it back. I'm going to cut this front cross member out, cut these front mounts, just basically clean up a bunch of junk. And I'd like to slide it underneath here and start building the body mounts. So I want to get the body mounts roughed in so that he can pull this cab off. I think he wants to do some sandblasting under here and do the patchwork. And then I think he wants to do a bunch of stuff to the frame as well, but for now I want to just do the basic mounts and get that sucker mounted on there. So anyways, that's where I'm starting. So we got the cab mount, well, squared up. It's down. We got it sitting where he's happy with it. I think it's good. Motor's got to do the old move back yet, but we're going to make all the mounts first. Not 100% how I'm going about this side yet, but I'm going to start in the back and front. We're going to be using the Dodge mounts for the most part. I'm going to reuse the GM ones up in the front because they're here. They're stuck there. That's a win, so we'll just leave them. They're good shape. The other ones I'm going to use all the Dodge stuff. They're nice and beefy. They'll be good. So we cleaned up all the frame rail, did all that jazz. So what we're going to do, instead of using the original mount that was supposed to be there, I'm going to mount this sucker just like that. Easy peasy. Reuse the Dodge one. Stab it up to the body. I'm going to cook it on. The front ones, I'm just going to make new. I'm going to repurpose and reuse some of the mounts, the top plates, because I don't have any heavy steel to use the whole works. So I'm going to be pretty simple about it. I'm going to make a mount off the frame. I'll just scab this off. It's got the hole. These mounts are fine. So I'm going to make a plate off the frame that'll tie into this thing. It'll be fine. Because this is the only plate of steel I got. And it would do everything I want, except the mounts don't fit in it. So that's the plan. I got to do a little bit of CAD underneath there. But I'm thinking just to make my life easier, I'm actually going to jack this truck up. Making the motor mounts much more enjoyable. So I'm going to get it up in the air. Get her all supported up. And fired up the plasma table. So I got to CAD some stuff first. And start cutting. Cool. Man, this will make this much more enjoyable. So these will be fine. The cab is sitting a little high here. This is that mount that I was mentioning. See, the cab's hitting this thing, so which is fine. We're going to trim that out after, once we get the mounts in place. And then back here, I think the mounts were originally over here, so we're going to build some big T scaffold across to hold that. So that should be pretty straightforward, no biggie. And then the front, I'll have to lower it after, and figure out how I'm going to do that part right there. This one is coming in. So I was going to do something different, and I'm just going to make my mount for this one. Just going to get rid of that thing for now. And make my own thing here. Should be pretty straightforward. Okie doke, here's my plan. I got this mount, which is the original Dodge mount. So I've squished in the the Chevy mount actually fits into the Dodge mount. So these are really good shape. So I'm going to reuse these on the front because, well, they fit. And then I cut these out on the plasma cutter. So the goal is, once it's mounted on the truck, I'm going to bolt this in place and I'm going to weld these onto the side. These are quite a bit overkill in comparison to what these ones are, but well, I wouldn't say too much. They're kind of close. But anyways, I'm just going to lap these over onto the side when I put it on the truck, and ta-da, we'll have front mounts. The rears worked out super easy. They're just reused the back mounts, but I'll get these buzzed on, and yeah, well, I'll show you after I'm done. Well, it's about 11:30. I think I'm going to shut her down early. Pretty much got what I wanted. This front mounts are not as pretty as I wanted. It'll function. It's kind of just this mount with this little bit of scaffolding around it. What I'm going to do is run a cross brace across yet. So, should be fine then. The other ones turned out good. These ones are, I don't know. It'll work. I'm just not super happy about them. Back here, I haven't got around to this yet. I'm gonna have to fully make everything because I don't have. I'm out of body mounts. I guess I can cut some off the truck. I mean, maybe we'll do that. We'll see tomorrow. But I guess that's gonna call it for a night. So till tomorrow. Okay, well, I got a late start today, and I think the boy had to do some work on somebody else's car, but he did manage to pull out. We have a junk square body out in the back, so he did manage to pull the clutch assembly, everything out of it, because this donor is a stick. So I'll have to get that swapped in. I'll have to figure out where roughly on that clutch goofiness there, how I mount the slave cylinder, but we'll figure that out after. I think tonight's goal is to at least just get the back of the cab mounted. I think that's where I'm going to go with this one. So I found a piece of 2x3, so I'm going to cut it to the width of the frame and then just make some uprights to come up to it. My plan is, seeing how my mounts are, I don't know, wherever they are here. Let's pretend they're there. I'm going to build this strut up to here. I'm going to have to go outside, cut some mounts off of the other truck, like the original frame for this thing, and scab them onto here because I don't have any more mounts back here. I could make them from scratch, but those will work fine. They'll probably weld onto this nicely, so we'll just do that. Nice and simple. It's got two super strong mounts in there. This is just kind of holding the back of the cab up, I guess. So, and then see if I got, then I'll do a support going across. If I have some strapping for this. If I do, I'm going to put a strap across here. And then maybe, I think I have some 2x3 pipe or 2x4 that I can run in between the frame rails here, just to clean this mess up. And give him the option to put a receiver in there if he wants to actually put a winch on the front, like just to tow, whatever, I don't know. Like a hitch mount receiver anyways. But that's our plan tonight, and let's get started. I got to grab a grinder, go outside, and rip some stuff apart. So I've gone outside, I've cut these off of the original chassis. So these should work good. What I'm going to do is just bolt these in like they're supposed to be. And then I'll cut to fit the other bracket and I can zap it in place. that dolled up the front nicely. Even though you won't see it because it'll be behind a bumper. If I wasn't lazy, I would have taken it on the plasma table and made bigger holes, but that'll do. Considering the bumper brackets are actually going to be probably up at the top here, so whatever. They'll have to get raised up. And then the back worked super easy. It's easier than I thought. So it's ended up that the body mount sits on this brace that goes across. So I have it just kind of buzzed in lightly. I'll wait till the kid takes his body off and then he can go weld everything up permanent. I'm kind of just blasting through the fun stuff. And then handing the crappy stuff off. Yeah, that's how it should be, right? Anyways, before I call it a night, I'd like to see what this thing looks like with a box on it. So I'm gonna go fire up the tractor and see if I can drop the box on here and see how far off it is. I wasn't too worried that if things weren't lined up 100%, because we can always repin the diff and kind of move it around a little bit. You got like 1 inch to 2 inches, inch and so, you know, you got at least 1 inch you can move the diff either way. So anyways, let's go get that thing. Well, this is about as far as I got tonight. But it looks like a truck. We got the box. It is just loosely sitting on here. I just have a couple blocks of wood underneath there just to hold or square it up. It gives me kind of an idea of what kind of mounts I got to make anyways for the box. But yeah, if you stand back, she don't look too bad. The wheelbase is not bad, but you got to imagine this is like a chassis cab. So this was a dually frame. So I think this is probably a little long. Well, this is definitely longer than my truck, the General anyways. I think I quickly measured it and it must be 20, almost 20 and a half feet, this sucker. I don't think my truck is anywhere near that size. So anyways, the cab is actually mounted. She's bolted down. I got to do two. We got to drill 2 more holes, but it's down. We have there. That front plate is in. I still got to do this box plate in front of here. I'm going to do that with a chunk of 2x4. Next stage is going to be. We got to move the motor back, which is like 5.5 inches. So there's like that game plan, and we're gonna need to get some steel to do the box, get that all done. But like I say, I slammed the box on, didn't do too much else. Kind of spent my time just making fun of Rolly here. But was working on that. I welded up his visor. It had a bunch of tears, so I kind of did a little bit of welding on there for him. And we're waiting for the paint to dry. So tomorrow's plan is to get the visor mounted. We got to do that whole little mount off the front here, but we're going to have a support rod on this particular one for this one. And we want to paint the roof. We want to get the bumper on and loosely get the floor into this truck. So that's tomorrow's plan for this one. And then I'm not sure if I do much messing around with this or not, or we focus on kind of doing some stuff with this thing. So I don't know. Tomorrow will tell. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.